Hello everyone. We are here today to talk about some of the amazing work that the Foundation is doing here in the UK in lots and lots of different schools, and with a particular focus on our Sing Every Day programme, which was supported by the Big Give campaign last year. And I'm joined by the incredible Anne Wright. So Anne, I like to embarrass people straight away, as you can tell, everyone knows this. Tell us a little bit about the campaign and about what we've been doing since last year's campaign.
Oh, thank you, Paul. I feel really incredible now. That's great. So we've been doing a lot, specifically in primary schools, if we look at that first. Last year, we worked in 9 across Hackney and Tower Hamlets as part of Sing Every Day. And each of those 9 schools had a year-long program with us. This year, we have 6 so far, with another one coming on board in January.
That's brilliant. And what does a kind of typical program in one of those schools look like?
So it involves about 4 to 5 visits to the school each term by 2 of our singing team. And they work with, it can be just one class, although it tends to be 2 or more, depending on how big the school is. And they do a series of warm-ups, songs, vote state method. The teachers are in the room and the teaching assistants so that they can learn how to do this. We also offer some training for those teachers.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and the whole project always culminates in those London schools coming here. So the final thing the children get to do is a workshop and concert with our team here.
That's amazing. So why? I mean, imagine that we have some people here who are maybe not used to the kind of work we do. I know well why we do this process, but tell us at home, what's the thinking behind it? A little bit. What are we trying to achieve?
Yeah, sure. So there are a number of whys. The first why is really a very simple one. It's the joy of singing, the fun, the inspiration, exploring the voice, the creativity, all of that. But you might be asking, well, aren't they doing that in schools already? Sadly, not to a great extent. So all but one of the schools that we were in last year, and again this year, don't have a music teacher. So the classroom teachers have to do the music delivery, and for most of them, that's quite an uncomfortable thing to do.
Yep.
And leading singing definitely steps way out of their comfort zone.
Using the voice can be quite a terrifying thing.
It really is. You don't have anything to hide behind, and they all have preconceived notions about what good singing is or what they can and cannot do. So we're going in to support them as well as to give the children the experience. We also know that it's really good for learning, executive function, and for well-being. So
it's really everything.
Yeah, basically, it is everything.
It's simply, if you sing at school, it's going to be better for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you identify the schools that we work with?
So for these schools, that's all done through Hackney Music Hub and Tower Hamlets Arts and Music. They know their schools, so they know who the staff are, what the needs are, and they send out the project information. Schools apply through them, and then they assess who needs it most.
So there's a real sense that we're building partnerships with people in a local community to help us make sure we're reaching the people that we really need to reach.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's so easy to just go with schools that are always right there putting their hand up. And we do want to support those schools, but the music hubs, they know the schools that maybe don't realize what's out there, or a school will come to them and say, we really need help with this. So
it's so important, I think, to really be thinking about finding the schools that don't know that this opportunity is there, to ensure that those students are having an opportunity to access music. So that process to me seems like a vital part of everything we're doing.
I think it is, and the feedback that we get as well really shows that, because you get teachers who are so excited, we had no idea how this would work or that we could do it. We know our children love to sing, but we didn't know how to tap into that. So
And what do they make of arriving at the Watches 8 Centre, and how does that experience feel for not just maybe the students, but the teachers and also our team as well?
Yeah, so the wow factor, it never gets old. Even for me, I have to say, because the teachers and teaching assistants and parents, because we do get some parents who come to accompany the class, but also to the performance. They're invited.
Great.
So the eyes are popping out of their heads. The children, I could keep track of how many times we've been asked, do you live here?
Do you?
Some weeks it feels like it.
How about peanut and butter? Do they live here?
Well, according to the children, yes, they do. So don't tell anyone that.
Okay, and just for clarity, who are peanut and butter?
Peanut and butter are my cats, and they've become part of primary school projects.
I think they're big hits, aren't they, from what I hear?
Yeah, they are pretty famous. And yeah, a lot of children are still asking, do they really talk? Do they really sing? And yes, they do.
Always in harmony, I assume.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And they know how to warm up their voices.
That is critical, I think. So this is what we've been doing. What are we looking at doing in the year ahead? And what are your plans with the various places that we're going?
Well, so this project will continue because the demand is still there. And I should say too, before I talk about other things that are on our plate, is our singing team really likes this too, because they develop a relationship with the teachers, the class, the school. So it's that year-long aspect that they really get to know everyone. So there's a nice bond.
It's so important, isn't it? When we sing in choir, it's about forming those relationships. And that goes across the whole spectrum, that we're not just dropping in for one session, but actually that year-long process allows a much deeper relationship to evolve.
Yeah, it's excellent for the learning, obviously, and for that relationship. So we also have, I'm really excited about two things of the many. One is London-based. It's called an assembly tour.
Oh, that sounds epic.
Yes.
I want to be there. Is there a tour bus there?
I wish there was a tour bus. Maybe next time we can have one.
Next year, I want it to be bright red.
Yes. At the moment, the teams are just going to be using public transport.
Well, that might be a red bus, I suppose.
It could be, yeah. So Tower Hamlets, their schools, their primary schools, said we'd really like a group to visit and sing for lots of our children. And so they've christened it an assembly tour. We initially were looking at one day, but we've now got 3 days, and they've still got other schools that want it.
Brilliant.
So it's been 9 schools.
That's fantastic.
And the team will go in for an hour, work with whatever classes the school has chosen. So they'll perform for them, and also obviously get them involved.
Absolutely. And what kind of stuff are they going to sing? Do we have an idea of what kind of repertoire we like to share in those settings?
Yes. So we've had a little bit of a bird theme and an animal theme going. We've got a great arrangement of Red, Red Robin, because bobbing along.
He does bob a little bit.
Yep, it's a big hit. And we have a brand new one. We have Owl Sing Along, which it's a Raffi song. Some people out there might be familiar with Raffi. It's so much fun. It's a little bit jazzy, bluesy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so those will be the songs that the children learn to sing with the group.
And then what other music do you think our singers will share with them?
Okay, so we're going to have a really varied program. We've got a Mendelssohn part song about Nightingale.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. We've got, I have to think about this. There's a round called Be Like a Bird.
Okay.
And they'll do that because it might be that older children could then go on to learn it. Then we are going to do a Madrigal. I haven't planned which one yet.
Oh, still top secret. I love it.
It's still top secret. And then we'll put a pop song in there. So they get a real cross-section of
to show them all the different elements that we reach into with a cappella singing.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that sounds very exciting. So that's something big to look forward to. And what do we need to do to make sure this is possible? Obviously, we're sitting here thinking about the big give.
Yeah. So as much support as possible, just to be quite direct about it, because we need help to continue offering all these programs, to be able to employ our singing team to do it and to put the resources together. And we also have, very excitingly, some more research coming up.
Fantastic.
So we have a small report that actually covers a US pilot project with some cross-pollination, shall we say, with London schools and Sing Every Day. And then starting in January, we're going to be looking at the impact on children's well-being of one of these Sing Every Day projects. So support with that, along with Sing Every Day, would be really helpful.
And looking at everything that you see in the education landscape at the moment, why do you believe what we're doing needs to be happening?
I think because music education at the primary school level, and we haven't even talked about all we're doing in secondary schools, but just talking about primary schools, is so variable. And if we think that very few people are coming through with any training to teach it, and so few schools have got a music specialist, but it's not just our skills, it's our approachability and all the fun that we bring to it. And I see it in the feedback we're getting. So we've got teaching assistants who say, oh, I'm using that to help with classroom management. Or, we sing that song when we're lining up and it works a treat. And then I've got teachers saying, I didn't know that, I can use that during maths. And what a difference that makes. Or my child who's really, really shy in that class just comes out of their shell in singing. So I could go on.
I know we could talk about this all day, couldn't we? But thank you so much for sharing some of your thoughts and some of the great things that are happening with the programs. And I think the message is very simple. We're hugely grateful for everyone watching this who supported last year in the Big Give campaign, and it's happening again this year. So if you can find a way to continue supporting our work and ensuring we reach these students in these schools, we'd be incredibly grateful. It's very important work. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do stay in touch through all of our social media channels as well, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.